What are the pros and cons of living in Richardson, Texas? Stay tuned. Richardson is located between Dallas and Plano, and it has a population of about 130,000 people. It's really a great city for young professionals and families alike, and offers plenty of restaurants, coffee shops, bars, and shopping as well. It's a well-established area. You have several great parks and recreation areas right within the city limits. So there's plenty of entertainment options and things to do. According to livability.com, Richardson was rated number 41 out of the top 100 cities to live in 2022. It's quickly becoming more prominent in the North Dallas conversation. So as far as real estate is concerned, Richardson is within reach for most two-income households. The median home cost in Richardson is about $367,000, which is affordable in comparison to other North Dallas suburbs. Most of the homes are older builds, dating back to the 1960s, 70s, and 80s, and new development communities are relatively scarce in this area, with the most popular established neighborhoods being like Lake Highlands, Canyon Creek, and the East Renner Road area, which is basically far north Garland. Very rarely are you able to find a new construction area being built or even finding empty lots on which to build. Many of the new builds are a result of a scrape, which is a tear-down rebuild. So new construction in Richardson is pretty much like a unicorn, and as a result is going to be in high demand. And if you're able to find a lot, consider yourself lucky, but most likely it's going to go for a premium in comparison to lots in other areas. Richardson is a desirable area. Pro number one, Richardson is going to be rich in job opportunities. For the sake of not sounding repetitive, all of DFW has great opportunities for job growth. So in future videos, you're going to hear this common theme a few times. The job market here in the Metroplex is expansive, so if you need a new job or you're trying to scale your career, Richardson is going to be a viable option. This area was once called the Telecom Corridor or Silicon Prairie. This means that many of the world's leading networking and telecommunication companies are based in the city of Richardson, including Samsung, Texas Instruments, ZTE, AT&T, Verizon, and just a whole bunch of others. The job growth in Richardson has followed an upward trend over the years. And according to bestplaces.net, employment opportunities have increased from about 3.5% over the past year alone. The average salary here in Richardson is about $86,000, which is definitely above the average wage in comparison to the cost of living here in Dallas. Pro number two, transportation. Transportation in and around Dallas, specifically the suburbs of Dallas, public transportation is usually non-existent. However, right here in Richardson, you're going to have access to the DART, which is the D-A-R-T, Dallas Area Rapid Transit. The DART system operates within the Richardson city limits and the surrounding cities, so you'll be able to get in and around on a bus or light rail. There are several bus and light rail stations located in this area that service parts of Richardson and into downtown Dallas and 13 other small cities. If you want to check out station locations or the cost of fares or transportation schedules, you can head on over to dart.org to learn more about this feature in depth. Now, Richardson is centrally located to many hot spots around the DFW area. Whether you're commuting from Dallas or wanting to visit neighboring cities, it's easy to get back and forth from this location. It's positioned right in the middle of three major highways: Highway 75, LBJ or 635, and President Bush Tollway or 190, which makes it easy to commute to various parts of the Metroplex. It's not far from the airport, only about 20 miles to the airport. So if you like to vacation or you have to get out of town for business a lot, it's going to be an easy drive to DFW International Airport. Now, downtown Dallas is about 15 miles, Addison is about 8 miles, and Frisco is about 20 miles away. Now, if you want to get down to Fort Worth, it's going to be a bit of a stretch, located about 40 miles away, which is still very manageable. And if you're looking to catch a Cowboys game, it's probably going to take you a minimum of 30 minutes, as it's just over 30 miles to the stadium. Pro number 4, outdoor lifestyle. Now, moving on to our final pro in Richardson. And Richardson is known for having numerous outdoor areas. Walking trails and golf courses are scattered throughout the city. The great things about living in Richardson, Texas is they've really concentrated tax dollars on the quality of life and allowing residents to have spaces to enjoy some nature preserve, even though you're right in the middle of a big city. So if you love the outdoors or need a place to retreat, Richardson is going to be a great place to call home. Another popular area is the Prairie Creek Park, which has this beautiful waterfall. You can explore it. Kind of reminds me of White Rock Creek back home where I once was brought up in Richardson. I once brought home a lump of iron pyrite, and I thought I had discovered gold. But as you know, iron pyrite is fool's gold. And if you reside near City Line, there are all sorts of brand new hiking and biking trails near City Line. It's a beautiful new area that has cropped up right there at 190 and 75. Lots to do around Richardson, like the Eisman Center for the Performing Arts, which is a top attraction featuring all sorts of performance, from comedies and dance competition and concerts and some Broadway productions as well. You can enjoy the Alamo Draft Cinema. Now, that's a bar and movie theater combination showing the latest flicks, and nothing beats being able to go to the movies. What's better than having your food brought to you while you're in your seat and enjoy a nice beer at the same time during the movie? Richardson offers lots of restaurants, bars, and multifamily housing as well. You can basically live and work right there in your community, so you don't have to Uber home. Now, con number 1. Let's talk about one of those things that may not be as flattering about the city of Richardson as some of the surrounding areas. Now, when I visit Richardson quite often, and the current state of the roadways really needs to be addressed. We're talking uneven lanes, potholes, and even a bunch of loose gravel. You have a lot of construction on some of the side streets, but most of the roads are 50 plus years, and well, they need some repaving. Con number 2, crime. Crime ratings. Moving on to our next con on our list, and that's going to be the crime rating. According to crimegrade.org, Richardson received a C rating, and the city is in the 45th percentile of all the major cities, meaning that 55% of cities throughout the country are safer than it is here. Obviously, that's not the best grade, but to be quite candid with you, every time I'm in Richardson, whatever area I travel to, I feel quite safe. I feel secure. I don't feel like there's any threat or trouble brewing. I believe these stats are basically referencing one small pocket on the south side of the city, and I believe it's being gentrified very quickly. However, based on these stats, Richardson is going to have an issue in regards to crime. So just keep that in mind. Con number 3, public schools. Okay, moving on to the next con, and that's going to be the public education. And I am a product of our ISD education, and Richardson is ranked 310 out of close to 1,200 schools in the state of Texas, and that's just not what it used to be. Based off the math and reading test data, the school district's graduation rate is about 90%. And if we compare that to, say, Capel or Prosper ISD, it's showing a graduation rate of about 98%. So to me, that's a huge difference just by comparison with the key metrics. So if you have children, Not that that's the worst ISD in the state. However, it's definitely not the best. So it's just something to consider if you're considering relocating right here to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Con number 4, new builds. It might not even be a con for you, but for many buyers I've worked with in the past, that's going to be the lack of new construction and new homes. As I mentioned in the video earlier, Richardson is not going to have a lot of new construction. Your main option for a newly built house would be to purchase a tear down and then rebuild the kind of home that you would really like to have and want. But that option can be pretty pricey, and as a general rule, right here in Richardson, you're not going to have access to new construction as you would in, say, Prosper, Salina, Frisco, or other parts of DFW. As I drove through a few communities there, only a couple of empty lots, are available, and like 100 homes that I saw. So if purchasing and building a new home is important to you, it's probably going to be a small issue right here in Richardson. So if you found any value on my video at all, just do me a favor and like or comment or subscribe. So if you guys have any questions or concerns about any of the areas in the DFW area, just drop me a comment below. And if you're moving to Dallas, just give me a call, shoot us a text or an email, and we can talk to you about your plans about moving to the Lone Star State. Stay blessed, everyone, and I can't wait to see you around town.